Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Netflix commentary track. By the time you're viewing this, Gremlins will likely not be available on Netflix. I'm watching it the last day of which it's available, but hey, it could come back around for the holiday season. With that said, you want to cue this up with whatever you're watching on. This is designed for Netflix, so go ahead, scroll all the way to 0000 and hit play now. Rated PG. This is in 1984. One of the movies that helped usher in the PG-13. This is a Christmas movie, but it's not lopped in with the other, best Christmas movie, Die Hard, It's a Wonderful Life. In some ways, Lethal Weapon and Gremlins are neglected as far as that's concerned. All right, so we have oh boy, it's been a year since I saw it. I used to watch this all the time. I don't remember a whole lot. Dad Peltzer, Mr. Peltzer, he's walking around. Was it Chinatown or was he actually in Asia when he did this? I think he might have been in New York. Okay, it all started here in Chinatown. I was hitting the shops trying to move merchandise. This is an inventor, hapless guy. He just bounces around from various shops. Hey, I've got something to pitch for you. And he comes across a kid who's like, hey, I'm going to take you to this guy down here, and hey, they got something interesting. My grandfather's store. Okay, let's check it out. And this is a movie that I think really hit with a lot of people. And it's a little unfortunate that maybe it's out of the zeitgeist. Oh, well, that we can get a reboot, right? Is that what we're going to do? We're going to demand a reboot of everything we remember and like? Not me. No siree, Bob. Here we're walking around the mystical shop. That hazy 1984 look that you can't get today. Part because they don't allow you to use stage smoke in interiors. Oh, it's a lung problem. Why? Cry about it. All right, so I want to show you some of my inventions. Bathroom buddy. There was something weird going on with 80s movies when it comes to inventions being more cumbersome than they need to be. This is a Steven Spielberg production. I just got done watching Goonies, which you'll probably see me talking about here soon. It also, though 1985, a Steven Spielberg production, features gadgetry in the form of data. So we have these cumbersome, not practical gadgets in both movies. I don't think this is the limit to, the inventions of the future that we saw in 80s films that never really came to fruition. Look, you're going to pull that tiny head of a toothbrush off, and then what? Move the giant bathroom buddy Swiss Army knife across your face? Alright, well, just in case you are interested in something that'll shoot toothpaste at you, which seems to have almost cleaned itself off of my shirt instantly between shots, here's my card. Is that a chess set? Surely not. Was that guy in Big Trouble in Little China? Hey, what's the singing I'm hearing over here? What's this? And we are going to be introduced to the mogwai. Everything was named so well in the 80s. Optimus Prime, the Autobots, Decepticons, Megatron, mogwai. We can't do that anymore, can we? Everything has to be ran by a focus group. I've got to have them for my kid. Give you $100. And this guy, he's cruising for a bruising because he doesn't really sell the mogwai to the dude. $200. Now look, you're a kid in 1984. $100 is very much $1 million. $100 felt like $1 million in like 1990. It's like, wow, you could get an NES for $100. Whoa. Can't sell him at any price. So he could be your pet, and the guy's like, "Hey, I really want to have your dog." Nope, he's not for sale. Well, I'll take him anyways. The kid is gonna smuggle him out. What is that? What happens? Yeah. How would you like some stranger to come by and say, "Hey, I want Buddy, your dog," and then your kid is like, "Here, I'll take the money." What is the kid gonna do with the cash? Now you gotta be thinking something ominous is gonna be going down right here. See how it just goes to slow motion? Am I mistaken, or did this guy fly home with this thing? All right, so we got some rules. Never feed him after midnight, no matter how much he begs. Can't get him wet. Yeah, okay, sure, kid, got it. Rockin' Ricky Rialto. Oh, what does that sign look like to you? Man, this movie looks so good in HD. This is a great transfer they have here. Steven Spielberg presents. Look at that snow. It's Gremlins. Yay. They had cool fonts in the 80s too. Everything, as it was showing there, Indiana Jones, things had kick-ass fonts. They don't even try these days. See if we recognize any other names from the catalog here. Of course, there's Judge Reinhold. And did they mention Corey Feldman in the opening credits? Surely. Like, kind of disappears in the movie. And we are out buying Christmas. You ever see cops wear those winter jackets like that anymore? That big green, like, coat? I never see it. Co-starring Dick Miller. Music by Jerry Goldsmith. Has he ever done a bad job? And now we have our hapless protagonists here. Billy, right? He's got the beetle that doesn't work, a fairly loyal dog. As loyal and cool as his dog is in this movie, you kind of think that with Gizmo showing up and totally replacing the dog as far as affection and everything goes, that the dog would hate Gizmo for, pushing him out. There's Dick Miller, the recently deceased Dick Miller. Died shortly after I thought, oh, hey, he's about to die because he's just so darn old. Was this directed by Joe Dante, I believe? I think Dick Miller is in every one of his movies. And that would be like starting with The Howling, I think, all the way up to present. He was in, oh gosh, the one where the Star Trek kid killed himself with the Jeep that couldn't get out of reverse, rolled down the hill, crushing with its gate. What was that guy's name? He was in a movie with him. Oh, Bearing the X. That's what it was. Yeah, Dick Miller appeared in that. And that also had a horror type comedy vibe, which we get out of this movie. There are definitely scenes in this that play horror, while much of the rest of the movie is, and it's wrong to say comedy. Okay, written by Christopher Columbus. Chris Columbus there. He wrote a lot of good stuff in the day. He wrote same year, 1985, the movie that I feel everything from Harry Potter ripped off, and that was Young Sherlock Holmes, right? Which is a quality movie that bombed at the box office, probably because it was too dark in tone. It had that Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom thing going. There's kids involved, but there's extreme peril. and it didn't do well. But if people remembered that movie, if people actually got around to it, it would have made sense that Harry Potter never could have been. Everybody would have realized all the stuff from Harry Potter was ripping off young Sherlock Holmes. And you can see how disorganized Billy is. He's got his name upside down on the placard over there. Little touches. Nothing in set design and props department is ever really shot by accident. If something's in a scene, it is there on purpose. There's Phoebe Cates, supremely cute actress. I never found her to be super hot by any means. I know, like, if you're checking out something like Mr. Skin's hot nude scene stuff, she's like number one Fast Times Ridgemont High, or that had been the case. She's just always been really cute. She's had that chubby cheek thing going forever, and I haven't seen her in a movie in decades, but this is one that you may know her well from. I don't really recognize the lady here who was upset about the snowman. Was it something about Billy's dog caused the problem, and I'm going to cause a scene in a kind of over-the-top way that people don't usually talk in person. So let's see. Mrs. Deagle. When I hear Deagle now, there's Dick Miller in the background on the left over there. When I hear someone say Deagle now, I'm thinking Desert Eagle, but whatever. We're going to show her being a jerk to this lady. The bank and I have the same purpose, to make money. No, you get nothing and like it. Deadbeats. Mrs. Deagle, it's Christmas. Go ask Santa. Oh, Mommy, I'm hungry. Yes, honey, so am I. I'm going to get straight into the front of the line and I'm going to complain about this. Imported Bavarian snowman. Your dog broke it this morning. How? Did the dog gang tackle it? I don't want money. I want your dog. Whimper. What is the dog? Okay, the dog's name's Barney. What is Barney doing going to work with this guy? This is before we all became weirdo freaks about dogs traveling with us. If not for the extreme case of service dog, I don't see this being a common practice. Now look, this is a intelligent dog too. Like he can do his own leash tricks and stuff, but he gets totally cast aside. All right, I'm going to show her. Barney, no. Oh no, the savage beast is attacking me. I'm mauled, scarred for life. I have a very weak heart. I can't stand shock. Oh, you're going to be shocked soon, biatch. You'll be getting yours tonight. The odd thing here is that if you watch just this movie, just the 1984 Gremlins, it would appear as though the Gremlins rack up a bit of a death toll. But in Gremlins 2, Dick Miller survives. Like, the hell? I would actually count it as a death in this movie, because you never see him survive in the movie. He doesn't come out at the end and be like, oh, that was a close one. A little bit something, it looks great. There's a naked woman at the bottom of that I hadn't noticed before. Also, odd thing, as strong as the script is with developing the characters and making you kind of care about Billy, it's weird that Judge Reinhold is over here, also from Fast Times at Ridgemont High, plays the jerk, and then just segues out of the movie. Like, is this his last scene in the movie? Talking about how he's going to be retired by, what did he say, 30 or 40? I'm a junior vice president at 23. It's my time at 25. I'm going to have Mr. Corbin's job. I'm a millionaire by 30. Look at you. You're a bum drawing D&D art. The world's changing. You got to be tough. And no one's tougher than you, huh? Oh yeah, here we should have an awkward moment. And she works at the bar. Does she? So she's pulling two jobs, bank and bar. What for? I haven't seen your apartment. I haven't seen your apartment either. Nah. Ooh, turned him down. Judge Reinhold does not get his in this movie. There's nothing comes of him being set up as the jerk, so it makes you wonder why he set that up. It's just kind of a minor grievance. All right, we're going to see some of these inventions from Dad. I think that's the most tear-jerking scene right there from It's a Wonderful Life when he's running down the street saying hello to all the crappy stores. Yeah, can you do the eggs? Oh, okay. I guess we're going to have to use this machine. Peltzer. He's got his own little logo there. It looks like an egg beater in the P. Or is it supposed to be a light bulb, bright idea thing? Look at how cumbersome that is. You don't need machines taking up space in your limited kitchen countertop. But you can see that the mom puts up with it. They work for the first couple of weeks, and yeah, why don't you use the sink? Oh, he doesn't have something for dicing onions? You know, look around in the kitchen there. You see a corded phone on the wall. I wouldn't think that's a black and white TV set, but TV set in the kitchen, was that uncommon in 84? We had a TV set in the kitchen in the mid-90s. Not so much before then. At one point, it was a thing to have a number of TVs in your house, kids. Like, oh, wow, you have a TV in every room. Whoa. Why does the sword keep falling from the wall? I guess we're going to have to use that later, right? Chekhov's gun, as they say. You can't be making mention to a gun over the fireplace without using it by, Act 3? Hey, I got something for you. Oh, no, don't shake it. You're going to have to open this a little early. Now the dog is already agitated. Smells the mogwai. It smells something coming into his turf. Oh, hey, is it a new car? Probably not. This is what an 80s household looks like, kids. It's not, hey, guess what? I have a coffee table that is a giant NES controller. That's not the way things worked back then. Not everything had to be turned into merch. The lights just got so dim all of a sudden. We got to mood light this up. We're going to reveal the mogwai. We haven't gotten a look at him yet. Squeal. What is it? It's your new pet. Come on, Barney, be a good dog. Did he need another pet? He has a dog. That if it's causing as much trouble as Mrs. Deagle is saying, then I don't think he needs more responsibility. Now, you see Gizmo here, and it's just the most adorable thing, voiced by Howie Mandel. I think it's quality puppet works. I've heard people complain about the puppets in the first film and act like, oh, well, the second one's better. Oh, gosh, I can't remember the name of the guy who did the effects work here. I think he also did effects work in The Fly and directed Fly 2. Okay, a shot right there. The extreme close-up on Gizmo. I think they used extra large Gizmo, not necessarily a puppet, but more like a costume, and then worked different stuff on it. Because to get the technology's actually come a long ways since then, but little servos and motors inside of puppets and strings to pull. There's just so much limitations on the smaller size. So you have something larger, and that allows you more space to operate all these different things. And here he is giving him you can't give him a bath. They can't get wet. Never feed him after midnight. It doesn't say the consequences for this, which I kind of think you might want to say which one's which. It's the gets them wet. Oh gosh, you can think about it like that. Makes them have babies. They multiply. You feed them after midnight, makes them evil. Some of this is brought up in a tongue-in-cheek fashion in Gremlins 2, which definitely plays more the comedy route. It definitely skews to self-aware comedy satire, in a way making fun of the first movie. First movie plays it really straight. But I would say this. How the hell do the mogwai know if it's midnight or not? How does their system internalize that? Is it midnight in relation to Chinatown? Is it midnight in relation to China, wherever the hell they're from? And why would the time of day that it eats matter? If the things can multiply from being wet, then how have they not taken over the earth? And look at that. I mean, just little cute things like, oh no, he got shocked by the lights. It knocked him over on his little feet. Aw. Did he get a little boo-boo on his head? This has got to be one of the most well-liked movies to be almost forgotten. I wonder if I ask kids that I'm playing random Xbox games with if they're even that familiar with this. Because I would really doubt it. And we're going to bandage you up. Oh, look at the little feet. Oh, he's got a little whimpering mouth. Oh. And there's Barney. Just a little agitated here. I guess I'm not cool enough, huh? Because I can't sing. Okay, I see how it is. So sad. And yet we got space made for you too. There's the Peltzer orange juice maker. Okay, so it is like a light bulb, and then it's a sliced orange for the logo. They put some thought into it. You know, if this was an inventor, he would be trying to come up with stuff like that, right? All right, I'm going to give it a shot. And is it a mess right away? Can you imagine trying to clean that thing? And it worked and it doesn't. And boy, does it not work. And now we have the Christmas tree delivery boy. How would you like to have to wear a Christmas tree costume to work at the Christmas tree place? Terrible. All right, and revealed his face to the world here. Corey Feldman, who I swear from 84 to like 89, went from like 8 to 28 years old. He must have been hitting some hard drugs, this kid. Was this possibly his first movie or Friday the 13th Part 4? Not sure which. We have a poster for the Road Warrior. Oh, we're cool. TV mounted way up high. That will hurt your neck. We're watching more old movies. And that is definitely a large Gizmo right there. I can tell you for sure. You can see there's much more nuance in the mouth, the creases in the teeth than what you can see in other shots. All right, Corey, I'll show you this. You're going to cause some trouble. Look, first of all, I don't want Corey Feldman hanging out with me. I darn sure don't want him running across my mystical ninja pet. Doesn't it look like there's a massive age chasm between these guys? Like, why are they hanging out? His name's Gizmo. He's a mogwai. Is it possible his name is Gizmo because his dad makes gadgets, gizmos? If his dad's not an inventor, we don't have that to springboard to. Oh, he's adorable. We've got to put our scientific efforts into making actual mogwai, barring the feeding after midnight and the multiplying. It's the only one I've ever seen. What kind of weird watch does Billy have? Need to get another look at that. Oh no, we knocked over his paint. I guess the paint glass. He had the. Oh, and we're losing him. We got that paint water on him. You'll notice right away that all of Gizmo's offspring appear more devilish. And before they've done anything to deserve it, they're just born more evil and mischievous. How did they do that effect of getting the balls to shoot out without it looking like a hole underneath? I suppose they could have done a little bit of reverse stuff, drop them on them. Uh-oh. What? Yeah, I mean, this is a good opportunity to make money right here. Everybody wants one of these, don't they? Sell them for 200 apiece, easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new ones. They look a little chunkier. They seem larger than Gizmo. And much like the beast in Alien, grows without really taking in the right amount of matter. Something that can grow without needing any kind of fuel source or food, anything. It's not actually possible. My dad is tinkering away with maybe a poker shuffling mechanism. Just nothing can work for him, poor guy. Something had to work at some point to get this house, right? Made an improvement to the bath, buddy. Let's say you're late for the big meeting. Oh, don't like the way this is headed. You forgot to shave. What are you gonna do? Under normal circumstances, you are in trouble. Now, if you have the bathroom buddy, oh no. Jeez. I mean, heck, you could just carry a bag that has all the stuff in it, right? Which is what everybody does. All right, look at Billy. He's so honest. Talks about the mogwai. Oh, I think this is my first time sneezing during one of these. Look at that. That is a tiny Donkey Kong. I think that's not a Game & Watch, is it? No? Barney, you do such a good job being annoyed. Gizmo was not getting into stuff. Not like these guys. Ugh. That is some 1980s looking carpet. The Peltzer pet. Wants to put his name on everything, doesn't he? Gizmo still has sleeping on the bed privileges. The others get a suitcase. Well, where's Barney? We better go check. These guys know what's up. Evil grin. Hee 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 hee. Look at that. That is not a comfortable position for a dog to be in. How did they ever get away with that? PETA would be outraged. Oh boy, I do not want to use that hammer. Or that fly swatter. Oh, so they're ready to blame Mrs. Deagle, eh? Hey, did that coffee machine work? And then it didn't. It looks like tar's coming out of it. All right, we are off to school, 80s style. I've got a professor over here at the school who I want to show this stuff to. You know, I just kind of thought he might want to get murdered today. No, don't show him that. One drop. Did one drop just make one little mogwai offspring? Is that what happens? With several being the case because the water spilt over? These things fall in the ocean. What happens? They don't go through any gestation process. Well, they do, but it's like a couple seconds. It's almost the size of the parent. Within a minute, they're fully grown. The foreigners ruined my plow. Yeah, Dick Miller's got some kind of plow gig. He's been drinking. He's worried about foreigners so much. Foreigners have always been a topic of discussion in America. He says Gremlins, you gotta watch them because they plant gremlins in the machinery, them foreigners. Same gremlins brought down planes. That's right, World War II. Good old WW2. I don't think when he says gremlins so much he's talking about anything biological. think that as his plow is left there, the gremlins come across it and return it home for him. Christmas Carolers. I have not seen that in a while. Never come around my neighborhood. 'Cause we're evil. I think this is where Phoebe Cates gets into her "don't tell me about Christmas." It brings back traumatizing memories. In Gremlins 2, they would end up making fun of that. Saying, oh, I had a bad experience with Lincoln. Okay, whatever. And everybody just kind of shuts her up. When she say something like, I hate Christmas. What, really? Why would anybody hate Christmas? I always thought everyone was happy during the holidays, no matter what. Most people are, but some aren't. Opening up their wrists? Jeez. She talks about the suicide rate. That just took a weird turn. I don't celebrate Christmas. Oh, are you Hindu or something? No, well, Jewish, but... I think she then tells the story of her dad getting stuck in the chimney trying to pretend to be Santa Claus. He died. And that's how she learned that there was no Santa. And every year it seems like some robber tries to go down somebody's chimney. Oh, ask her out. Oh, yeah, would you like go on a date? I'd love to. That's a yes, buddy. That is a you can't screw this up. Look at the way how the light is bounce board off onto their eyes here. The Morticia lighting, eh? Yeah, things aren't going too bad for you, Billy. Fortunately, we have a scientist man over here going very clinical about this. Give me your arm, buddy. Come here. Give me your arm. It's not gonna hurt. Needles always actually hurt. Oh, what kind of weird blood are we getting out of him? Is this Invasion of the Body Snatchers here? Everything has to be an old movie we're watching. They end up also watching Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Dwarves. Dwarves. In theaters. I already fed you guys. They tamper with his clock, and because he doesn't have an iPhone that updates the actual time, well, it's not quite midnight. I guess he can eat. These are the weirdest rules, guys. Some of the weirdest movie rules. He fell for it. Yay. I believe that's Stripe there with the mohawk. In Stripe it's Stripe, isn't it? Stripe's like the evil leader of the clan. Huge Gizmo right there. You could obvious. Tearing through the chicken. Gizmo just so happens to not want any food. Even dangling it in front of his face, such a stand-up guy. Yum, yum. It is almost 2:20, and this guy is still at the school doing his research. Yeah, it's weird how much you see the big mogwai puppet in this, more than one would have thought. Puppet costume, whatever you want to call it here. Oh no, Gizmo's scared. I don't really think there's a relation here with this movie and Invasions of the Body Snatchers. It's not like the Gremlins are hiding among us. Uh-oh, it looks like Gizmo is concerned here. Has Gizmo seen this happen before? Is Gizmo like the lone survivor of many gremlin attacks? You would think someone would just have to put Gizmo down just to make sure this didn't happen again. Those are nice looking eggs. They're not unlike the H.R. Giger design from Alien. And in some ways, Mom here looks a little bit like Sigourney Weaver in Aliens with the hair like that. Oh, that's weird. Oh no, they chewed the wire. Oh, I know what's going on here, buddy. You have some evil mogwai that are now going to become gremlins. What benefit do they have in being gremlins, though? They were able to attack the dog and tie it up. Does this now give them more killing prowess? As gremlins, they're able to kill things, but as mogwai, they can't. They can just do tricks. It's not like there's a huge size discrepancy either. I mean, they're a little bit bigger. They're still, it's not like they're giant creatures that would be a threat to humans. Shouldn't be, anyways. All right, we are going to use the remote control to answer the phone. Yes, that is not cumbersome at all. See another Peltzer logo. Convention. There's the time machine from the movie The Time Machine. Is that Robbie the robot or the robot that just walked by? I keep getting those confused. Our eggs are about to hatch. All right, where the time machine was now appears to be fire on the carpet. Is that to suggest that the time machine worked? The time machine took somebody away from the convention center? Well, at least to another time where the convention center isn't there anymore, or rather the person in the machine are not there. Oh, she is being a pain. Why does she get to cut in the line? Now, where is the dog? Showing an actual film to a class. I have never seen that in my life. It has always been the television on the cart with the VCR below, in some cases, a laser disc. I don't think they ever had a DVD player on the cart with the TV when I was in public school system. We got like fumes coming off of this baby now. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, this is hazardous. Ooze dripping too. Gizmo hides in a, I don't know, dirt bike helmet. Okay, so instead of little hands, they have claws. I don't know. Still, it's kind of a. Does it make much of a difference? Yeah, no one in class would notice this. They're so captivated by that film. You want to give me a Christmas present? Tickets to the Super Bowl? How about a Rolls Royce Corniche? Yeah, not happening. This guy is about to become the first victim of the Gremlins. There is no, I think he survived to it. I think they find his body on the ground. And it's just one gremlin does it to him. So honest. He calls up Billy. The honesty of people in this movie. It's that middle America, Anytown, USA, be nice to your neighbors stuff. This took place in New York. You wouldn't see that. And you don't see that helpfulness out of the characters in the second movie. We're looking at a little bit of a horror vibe right now. And you get another scene like this with the mom when she's dealing with the gremlins, where it, those kind of things, those moments where all of a sudden a character that wasn't a big deal is now the focus of the attention, and the camera's just watching them as they walk around, and something could pop out of any corner, right? Brett looking for the little guy, the little alien, right? In the alien. All of a sudden, just lingering shots on him. Hey, what was that? Those type of moments. It always spells doom for these characters. All right, the gremlin is fast moving, eh? Moving things around. It's around the room here. There's no reason to be afraid. Where'd you go? Come on. Come on out. What are you going to do? Give him a Snickers? You're not you when you're hungry. I think it scratches him, doesn't it? Oh, no, I think I think it ends up injecting him with stuff. And that's how it kills him, right? We have ran out of film. Mr. Hansen, oh no. Is he knocked out or is he dead? We never see him afterwards, so we have to go with dead. Strange to think that his mogwai, they didn't become mogwai at the same. They didn't eat after midnight at the same time, but they become gremlins at the same time. Both the one kept here and what he had at his house. Oh, these things can cause some big problems. You better run. Tears through. I suppose the mogwai couldn't have done that, I guess. Oh, yeah, it was just Billy that got the scratch. I think that's your first real look at the gremlin right there. Cut away and boom, through the door. That was the door, right? And now Mom's got her moment. Oh no, poor Gizmo. You don't like seeing Gizmo get tortured. Use the knife that's not the Peltzer brand. That's not a knife. This is a knife. Down the laundry chute. You guys have laundry chutes at your house? I don't think those are so much a thing anymore. Oh, it would be such a pain in the ass to go up to your room, which is in the attic, with those stairs. The stair/ladder. And the attic typically doesn't have air conditioning or heating or much insulation. Oh, so they knew they were talking on the phone and needed to take out the wires, huh? And that was a thing that happened a lot in the 80s. A lot of the phone lines being destroyed. Hey, someone's in the house. They cut the line, right? Can't happen with the iPhone. We're going to take some Christmas music, traditional Christmas music, and try to use it as juxtaposition to make for a scary scene here. I want you guys to remember that this movie is rated PG. Parental guidance suggested. Is that it? Nice little shadow. We're lingering on the mom as we did Mr. Hansen. We got to be thinking the same fate awaits her. We've seen how this plays out. But come on, it's the mom. Really? Could they kill her off? I believe that's a stop motion right there. Pretty well done. There's not a ton of stop motion in this. Most of it is puppet. Not so much an animation process, but what can we achieve with like cables, wires, servos? Just blended him, got green blood all over the place. You saw that the mogwai have red or pinkish blood. Just everything that is in the kitchen just becomes a weapon here. Stab. The plates, we had the mixer bowl. I think we're about to throw a guy in the microwave. Just basically hit him with Pam in the face. To the microwave you go. Push anything, and it's a light show. PG, guys. Rated PG. I'm trying to recall how this went down. I know it was Spielberg's Temple of Doom, and I think Gremlins helped usher in the PG-13, which would come soon. There were two movies that came out with a PG-13 at approximately the same time. I think Red Dawn was the latter made, but the first one released with the PG-13. And at the time, it was also considered the most violent movie per minute. All right, what do we got here in the sock? Who has the giant stocking? That's the person getting all the presents, right? Just toys. She got a little overzealous, eh? No, it's in the tree. That could hurt. That could hurt a lot. There are so many sharp things. First of all, even if you don't have anything in the tree, the bristles from the pines, I mean, geez. The pine needles, right? Now, if you have anything hanging in the tree, that's sharp objects. Oh, is Mama goner? What are we going to do? It's time to use Chekhov's sword. Smack head off. Yeah, that is a grim look right there. There's Stripe. These things are so eager to run away. If they're so badass, stand and fight. Everybody gets scratched. Gizmo's in a safe spot for now, really. It says there, Gizmo, let me out, let me out. I don't think Gizmo talks so much. It's largely just sounds. There's not a lot of things Gizmo really says. There's that robot again. Following the tracks. When I was a kid, it seemed like a lot of the kids at school, the early 90s, had dogs occasionally named Gizmo. It was a popular name to name your pet. Stripe has made it to the YMCA. Does that mean he's jumping in the pool? Young man, you're I said, young man. There's got to be lyrics about a pool in that song, right? All right, the alarm is going off. I still got the sword. But you know, why drop it if it's an effective weapon against these guys? No! And in the water Stripe goes. So a gremlin goes in the water, what happens? The water glows. Dude, is there no need to eat after midnight now? They're just instant gremlins. I don't think they sit around and become eggs either. It's like gremlins just pop. Wow, how did they turn that into a giant hot tub? Possibly put like some pellets underneath, like what, sodium. Have them fizz up, like giant Alka-Seltzer tabs. Look at the electric light show going on in there. Is that Banks? Yeah, I could be wrong. Oh gosh, what's his name? In Beverly Hills Cop, one of the villains. Jonathan Banks? I'm gonna have to look that up. Yeah, it is. He's deputy. Deputy Brent. Recurring theme in 80s movies. Police not believing anybody. Same thing happens in the Goonies. Chunk calls the cops, says Fratelli's over there. There's a dead body, all this stuff. No, I'm not lying. Really, it's happening. Yeah, okay, sure, Chunk. Not the best stop motion effect here. But hey, you know what? There's a certain quality drop off when you have a lot of gremlins to animate. And here we are back on that horror look. We're checking in with people. What's going to happen to them? These are not main characters here. Yeah, I'm sure what their first priority was messing with the antenna. Man, he really hates them foreigners. Xenophobe Dick Miller. Oh no. The antenna is a wreck. What is that? Hey, just what you see here, pal. And now the theme music is kicking in. I I should have looked this up beforehand. Is that original to this movie? There was it might have been just local in the Oklahoma City area. It could have been wider, but there was a movie hosted show with a kind of horror theme type thing to it, where it used the Gremlins song as like their theme song. Oh look, it's in the cab. They're real gremlins in my cab. Ah. You could see there's a bit of a jarring hit. They hit them. That's the assumption, and that is them. The Fluttermans have checked out of the movie. Assumption deceased. It's almost like Dick Miller talking about gremlins in things, making them not work, is coming to be. Oh, look, there's gremlins in the mailbox. The mailbox doesn't work. All right, what happened? Did they eat that guy's hand? Ick. Oh no, there's gremlins in the electricity. What are we going to do? Oh, old-timey street lights. Stoplights. It's not necessarily a stoplight if you have a green light, right? It's a go light. Alright, I'm going to have to show the cops how gremlins work. Here's a mogwai, blah, blah, blah. Before it enters the pupil stage. The Futterman, something about a plow freak accident. Was that them calling? Because I guess if they called, they didn't get killed. That's what I'm not sure about. We got it from here, kid. Recurring theme in the 80s. Yeah, okay, sure. Let the pros take care of it. Ah, yes, Deagle is going to get hers. The Deagle residence? What hours for what? What is she living in a museum? Kopek is the name of a kitty. Drachma, Kopek. I need to look that up. There's some reference to something. It says here open house. Is she trying to sell it? Old Dollar Bill. Another name of a cat. Crazy cat lady. Christmas carolers. Bah humbug. Screechy voice little glue sniffers. Oh, go ahead and throw water at them. They like it. Does the snow not count as water to multiply them? They've come for me. I've got the weak heart. To my chair. Up the stairs. But they have somehow jacked with it. The gremlins have gotten in the machine. And I'm pretty sure this is a fatality. Yeah, that'd kill an old lady. She's not moving. Jonathan Banks playing the bad guy and a cop in 1984. So there's a Beverly Hills Cop connection here because Judge Reinhold's also in Gremlins. We have a Santa attacked by gremlins. Some helpful cops you guys are. You go ahead and keep being attacked. We're going to drive off. That's cool. What button do I push to get out of here? Oh, okay, this one. Oh man, I miss cop cars with the big light bar across the top. I feel like you need to easily identify police. There's a certain concern for getting pulled over by fake cops. Oh, car flips over. I think that was a miniature. Yeah, I think we're seeing some miniature car activities here. Maybe my Beetle works now. I don't believe it. It just fixed itself. It's a Christmas miracle. Radio's getting all the calls about the gremlins. The dad trying to get home in time for Christmas happens in many an 80, even hell 90 movies. You're going to include Home Alone, which is directed by Chris Columbus. I make the illogical logical. That's what inventors do. Here's another piece of crap to show somebody. Smokeless ashtray. I don't think we ever see the smokeless ashtray not work. They're ransacking the bar and poor Phoebe Cates is putting up with it. She's actually trying to serve them. I don't understand that. No, you guys sit still. Here, I'll pour you another beer. And they must have a couple dozen of them in the bar. But the biggest scene as far as puppets goes is going to be at the movie theater. He's a flasher, get it? Even though they're already naked. Oh, jeez. So much weird chaos. That is the Star Wars 1983 Vector graphics Atari game, which I think Arcade 1-Up is doing a, 1 of. Am I right? I think they are. Gambling. Now, no, is that a cross-dress or is that actually a female gremlin? What are we doing at this point? There's Stripe, the ringleader. And I guess his biatch. Now he has a gun. I suppose Mogwai couldn't use guns so much. Oh, I don't remember what the heck's going on here. I don't think any of them talk. It's not till like Gremlins 2 when one has like the smart juice that it speaks like a fluent accent. Yeah, there was a hammer mallet gag, but it was so in the background and dark that I don't think that was very effective. Now we're doing a flash dance spoof with the leg warmers spinning on the ground. These things know how to start fires and how to put them out, apparently. Phoebe, honestly, what are you still doing here? It doesn't want the fire in its face, does it? Even though it's smoking? Maybe the fire is one of the keys to taking him out. Is it the light? Oh no, the light's scaring him away. Okay. So the light affects the gremlins just as it does the mogwai. Dang, he's gonna rob her? Yeah, cover your face. We know you're a gremlin. Let's get out of here. I don't think she's seen Gizmo, has she? And now the car conveniently doesn't start. Movie trope right there, guys. Cars don't start whenever they most need to. And now they're going to take refuge in the movie theater, right? Take note at the angle here. There is a canted angle in use for the last few shots. What's just like he said that the gremlins getting stuff? The worst thing that ever happened to me was on Christmas. God, it was so horrible. Yeah, here's the big speech. Kind of an odd time to whip this out. Okay, the town is under siege from gremlins, but I want to tell you something about why I don't like Christmas. He's, listening as a guy would on and off while trying to take care of real business. Gizmo's like, am I a guy or a girl? Am I supposed to be listening to women tell stories? Expecting to pull a dead cat from the chimney, they pulled out my father. He was dressed in a Santa Claus suit. He'd been climbing down the chimney on Christmas Eve, his arms loaded with presents. He was going to surprise us. He slipped and broke his neck, died instantly, but was still stuck in the chimney, huh? That's how I found out there was no Santa Claus. And there's the smokeless ashtray. Did he trade it for a whole lot of smokes? I'm hearing that a packet of cigarettes, like you can put in your front pocket of your shirt, are like $20, $13, $20 or something. Last time I even saw anything about cigarette prices was like 1997. A carton was like $20. The heck is a carton worth now? Wow. And it's all because of the sin tax. That is one way to get people to stop. Price them out of getting addicted. All right, well, we just kind of sat around. I guess, was that the bank they went to? We sat around. We let the Gremlins cause mayhem. Let's clear out. Where to next? Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. This isn't a Disney movie. It's somewhat surprising they got away with this. Actually, I need to check. I don't believe... It didn't say Touchstone, did it? Tons of gremlin puppets there. Might have been a record for the time for most puppets in one shot. It's amazing they ever got the movie to play. I mean, you can see that how bad they are at this. They start with reel 4, total noobs. I'm looking this up now. Yeah, it's Warner Brothers, Amblin Entertainment, and yet somehow they got Disney to allow them to use Snow White footage. And they loosely sing along, don't they? Yeah, we can tell they're watching Snow White. We got it. And they love it. Why wouldn't they? And when you got Snow White on the big screen, was that movie not presented in Letterbox initially? It's quite possible. I I think the center row is puppets, and then they mirrored it. I think that's how they pulled it off. So they multiplied the number of puppets. These guys have got to be eating after midnight, right? Oh, he sees the candy shop. You got a plan, don't you, Billy? Yeah, his plan is to like blow up the movie theater. Pretty extreme. And he'd gotten all of them too if it weren't for Stripe wanting to head to the candy shop. Oh no, Reel 4 has ended. You could see that the first shadow they showed there, that was an animated effect. Looks like they kind of had a bunch of gremlins on a cart that they're moving. Not a lot of time to be sitting around trying to keep them in if you're running away from an explosion. Bam! Good old 80s pyro. Oh, what? I was getting some snacks from my kids, and then this had to happen. Oh, no, department store. It's Stripe. Kill. What do we got here? You grabbed the little kid lawnmower type toy. Push mower kid toy. Gonna go through. Yeah, just climb through that glass. Come on, it'll be fun. If he gets the water, it'll start all over again. At this point, we don't know how often these things can breed by getting in contact with water. It's possible he has depleted his egg resources. Oh, we've got our first kiss. You did a heroic thing blowing up that movie theater. I guess I gotta reward you somehow. Yeah, the quintessential 80s boom boxes. I've been seeing those around a lot lately. We got ourselves some hi-fi equipment. The old 80s TVs, all the knobs off to the side. Good old metal surround, wood, grain, the whole works. See yourself on TV with the camcorder. Now here's a scene I thought was most interesting when I last saw this, where she's going to end up prying open the security box, and it just kind of seems like a dangerous thing to have the actress be doing without it being rigged initially. Oh man, some electronics were so expensive back in the day. Computers, the going rate for the average computer was like as much as the most expensive computers now, with a mere fraction of the power and utility. There's a little ET toy, flanked by Warner Brothers properties. This, as I looked up, with Warner Brothers movie. She trying to radio for help, is it? Use the PA, something, one of the two, whatever. Oh no, you don't need him going to the garden. Whoa. The guy's got quite an arm. He threw the buzzsaw into the, drywall? Embedded it there? Man, I got a feeling he can run faster than he can pedal that little trike. Ow. From the pitching machine. Oh no, they're taking down Billy. Help Gizmo. You know the sun comes out eventually, right? Crossbows. There were crossbows all over the place in the 80s. Crossbow really not getting a lot of love these days, though. Oh man, he's beat up. Oh no, not the chainsaw. Come on. You had your fun strap. Come on. I have a feeling the chainsaw would go through the bat fairly quickly. Gizmo with a little pink Barbie Corvette, I believe. It would most certainly not operate as this depicts. The steering wheel, it's not a rack and pinion built-in steering. It's remote control. Someone needs to be steering it. Look, she like pries that open. Breaks the lock right there. Get the lights on. Blinded by the light. Yeah, I like how the chainsaw's taken off with them, but the cord's only so long. And gremlins operate from the shadows. Maybe that's why they're inside things. They're inside your electronics. Oh, there's the dog, Barney. I guess he was hanging out with Dad. Whoa. Yeah, dog. We're recruiting the dog to come help. Is that what we're doing here? Billy, come on, pick up a weapon. Oh, Stripe has blend in with the greenery. Die. Why the hostility? Oh, he has touched the water. Oh, you can see the bubbling pods. The gremlin producing. It's instead of the fur balls, they're little translucent pods. Crash the Corvette. I don't think would make any kind of spark, smoke, fire as shown there. It's not like it's loaded with fuel. Ow, that looked painful for Gizmo right there. Opening the blinds. Oh, can the water save you from the light? Doesn't look like it. Looks like you're melting like wax. Dog really didn't do much. Kind of wish the dog had helped Gizmo. Maybe Gizmo could ride the dog to get to the stuff. That could have kind of helped. Dad's what the hell is that? Oh, Bones flung himself forward. Oh, it is so gruesome. And then that melts away to nothing. It's like there's no trace. And do not lap that up, dog. Just walk away. They're calling it the Christmas Eve riot. The site at, what did it say, Dory's Tavern in Kingston Falls. Officials are now blaming mass hysteria for escalating incidents, fire, and explosions. The bizarre demise of Mrs. Deagle, widow of convicted stock something. So yeah, she died. No, don't give him chicken soup. It has water in it. All right, now the guy you took the mogwai from, he's given the money back. He wants the mogwai back. You gave him the business card, right? So he tracked you down, or did you call him and be like, "Hey, okay, we came. You heard the problem and all this." Oh, the box is very important, is it? I don't think Gizmo wants to go. With mogwai comes much responsibility, but you didn't listen. And you see what happens? You do with mogwai what society has done with all of nature's gifts. You do not understand. So it's a lecture there. You're not ready. This is why we can't have nice things. He has something to say. Good thing I got the subtitles on. To hear, one only has to listen. Come on, Gizmo, what do you got to say? Bye, Billy. Because Gizmo is taken away, it leaves the door open for the sequel to have possibly involved anybody else as the next owner of Gizmo. I'm so truly sorry. I'm going to give you a smokeless ashtray. I already have one. Man at gas station sold to me. Latest word in technology. Very generous of you. Gizmo said goodbye to the dog. And like that, Gizmo came into our lives and he left. So if your air conditioner or your washing machine blows up, or your video recorder conks out, before you call the repairman, turn on all the lights and check the closets and cupboards. Look under all the beds. We got a matte painting right there. Because you can never tell. Just might be a gremlin in your house. And there we have it. So did you guys enjoy Gremlins? Sure hope you did. Yeah, I enjoy this movie. It's there's really not a lot to complain about. Pretty much anything there is to complain about, I mentioned. It's certainly more strengths than weaknesses. Yeah, hopefully it'll be back on Netflix. You guys watch this commentary, but hey, the rights could be jumping around to any number of streaming services. That's all I know about that. Till next time, I'm Von Fry. No idea what I'm planning for the next commentary track, but if you have any suggestions, leave the comments below.